Alrighty, time to talk politics now. Federal politics with our favourite politicians, Ed Husic from Labor, Josh Frydenberg, Liberal MP. Good morning to you both.
Morning. How are you, Josh?
Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Ed.
Good. Now, let's start with the news poll figures which came out overnight, and they are, you might be surprised to hear this, Ed, very bad news for Labor. The Prime Minister's rating has fallen, but more importantly, Labor down to 28% in the primary vote, from whence you cannot possibly win.
Thanks for the chirpy start. I love coming here in the mornings. Feeling good. Thank you. As I've said before, this is just going to be a hard road to travel on. We've gone through.
It's not even a road anymore, though, is it? Really, it's not even a bullock track, is it? you're literally macheting your way through impenetrable forest.
Well, I haven't got the Indiana Jones hat on for nothing. But certainly, it's just it's hard going when you're trying to introduce change and try and get things done. And I mean, you were talking earlier about some of the stuff Campbell Newman's doing. I mean, he's going through. You were referring earlier about trying to get things done early in the term, and we're trying to go ahead with major reform and trying to get that bedded down.
But you would be hoping to have seen some benefit, certainly from your criticism of the Greens, from the cash giveaways, and it has all just bitten you in the bottom in the polls.
No, well, in terms of the criticism of the Greens, there's been a need to be able to say, look, enough's enough. Like, if they're supposed to be working within minority government, we've got to be able to find a way to work together and not have them politic off. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is none of it is working for you. Nothing is resonating with the voters.
This is going to take time. It's just got to stick at it.
Time is running out, though, isn't it?
There's no just add water and everything's sorted out and fixed.
But I mean, is there what can possibly? Sorry, Josh, we're going to have a chat with you in a minute. But where's the magic bullet? You've tried giving away money. You've tried distancing the Greens. I mean, there's nothing left to try, is there?
But in terms of, I've heard this criticism in terms of the assistance payments that we've made. I mean, that is part of the overall reform process to make sure that people aren't worse off or affected as badly through the price impact of putting a price on pollution. So, people can talk about whether or not that is poll driven or whatever. But if you don't do it, people get hurt. And you've got to be able to help them out.
All right, Josh. To be honest with you, Josh, apart from the fact that the coalition are winning because Labor are losing, I mean, there's nothing to crow about with Abbott's figures there. I mean, basically the same number of people distrust and dislike him as they do the Prime Minister. Maybe it's time for you to change leader.
Oh, look, I take issue with that, Paul. I mean, I'm focused on the headline figures, and the two-party preferred vote, we are 56-44 ahead. And if you look at where we were at the last election, we were just under 50. So that's a major gain due to Tony Abbott's leadership. On the preferred Prime Ministership, he is still 40-36 ahead. So people are sick and tired of the Gillard government. Even their own Labor members are now caucusing for the return of Kevin Rudd. This is an absolutely disastrous poll, and, it's like a slow train crash. We know what's going to happen, but we're all just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, you're right, but it seems to me that the coalition are only doing well in these polls because they're saying that they will turn on its head everything that Labor has done. Obviously, there are no policies of yours out yet other than to abolish things. And if you look at those figures with Abbott, they're basically exactly the same in terms of satisfaction as Julia Gillard. 30% of people in the survey are satisfied with Tony Abbott. I mean, that's appalling, isn't it?
Well, look, Paul, the big issue at the moment is the carbon tax, and it's been introduced and it's going to be very painful for families and businesses.
Yes.
So it's absolutely right that we are campaigning to repeal that. And we do have an alternative policy. We have a direct action plan, and that's what the voters are going to be voting on at the next election.
But you see the point that I'm making. I mean, obviously, we're just going to talk about polls for a few more seconds and then it's all over.
Sure.
But Joel Fitzgibbon, his comment obviously aimed at Julia Gillard when he said party will only hang on to a leader through bad polling for so long. The same must surely be true of the coalition, surely.
But look how well Tony Abbott's doing. I mean, he's 56-44 ahead. I mean, this will see us win a ton of seats at the next election should the polling hold up. So I think you can't, fault what Tony Abbott has done as leader. He's united the team. He's caucused us around a major policy position, which is to repeal the carbon tax. He's put a whole lot of new initiatives forward.
Yep.
And I think, there is a positive agenda that we put out there.
All right, Ed, just very quickly, the only magic bullet, if there is one for Labor, must be changing the leader. do you think Julia Gillard will be leading Labor through to the next election?
Well, we sorted it out in February. I mean, we've been
But it
there,
hasn't
done
worked.
that,
You
got
sorted
the
it out,
T-shirt.
and it was a dismal failure. You know, ratings for the party are lower
Tell him
now
the
than,
truth,
than
Ed.
ever. So you sorted it out, and you got it wrong. Are you gonna change leader? Going to sort it again?
Like I said, been there, done that, got the T-shirt. I mean, we've gone through that, and we're not going to go through... As much as people are asking and trying to make this into an issue, there's just no point speculating.
Fantastic. Ed Husic, Josh Frydenberg, thank you both very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. We didn't hear about Josh's time overseas.
No, that'll be next time.
Where are my
Travel
NBA
tips
socks?
next time.
Where are my NBA socks?
Where are my NBA socks?
I know. Yeah, well, you can't wear NBA socks with the Julia Gillard T-shirt.
Hilarious. All right, coming up after the break, we'll be changing tack. We'll be talking about the impact on men and women of divorce. Stick around, you're watching Breakfast.